Hello and welcome to my channel. Today, as you can see, there's a completely different setup, so get comfortable. I shouldn't be here too long, honestly, but I had to bring you guys a review of the Bells. Look at this gorgeousness. I absolutely loved the Bells. I loved everything about it. Today's look, I actually got some Macarna worked on me, and I had a bell come to my house and like just whip up her magic. Camille came. If you haven't read this book, you're like, what are you talking about? No. But this look actually was inspired from the book. It wasn't a specific look in there, but I was just like, let me play in color and see what I can create. And I was like, you know what? This is actually the perfect time for me to record my review since I was so inspired by it. So The Bells, for those of you who don't know, it is a fiction novel. It is fantasy. It is written by a Black woman, and it is beautiful, magnificent, and everything you can think of. The word opulence is probably the best description for this. It also, I forgot to mention, this is geared towards teens, young adults. Okay, so an overview of this. The Bells is an alternate world in which basically everyone is gray. So everyone is gray, and the desire is to be beautiful. So no one has any color on them, no one has any individuality, and their whole life mission is to be beautiful. Like, beauty is life. And then you have the Bells. The Bells are basically the descendants of a goddess who fell in love with the earth, and her blood runs through these bells, and they actually have color, and they are beautiful, and they hold the keys to beauty. And they have this magic called Akarna, which is within their blood and within their veins, where they're able to transform the mortals, or the regular people who are not bells, into these beautiful images. So you're able to be as dark as you want, you're able to be as light as you want, you're able to, if you want to change your nose, you can. If you want blonde hair, you get that. If you want red hair, you can have that. If you want curly, straight, frizzy, they even change body sizes. So if you want to bring in your waist and increase your breasts, or reduce your breasts, or increase your hips and all that other stuff, you can do it. But essentially how they stay in business is you have to keep up on the treatments. So every month or so after your treatment, you fade back to gray. And back to your boring self, essentially. So this whole world strives on beauty, and basically you pay them to make you beautiful. That's basically a basic overview, but the world building in this book is so amazing, because for me to explain this book to someone who hasn't read it would be hard for me to use some of the terminology or some of the, the thought process that goes behind everything. But the author does such a good job of immediately from the beginning developing it so delicately, where you're transformed into this world where literally like newscapes and your freaking post balloons and all this stuff makes sense to me. I know what it means, but if someone who didn't read it would have no idea what I'm talking about. Even when I'm saying awaken your Akarna, like that makes no sense to you, but immediately once you're reading this, all of it is, you're immersed into the world where none of it is strange or weird. The best way for me to describe this book would be, if you have read or watched The Hunger Games, think The Capitol. Like over the top, extravagant, but there's some crazy, shisty, weird stuff going on behind the scenes, and you don't know what it is. And it's like a world within a world. So that's what this is, because even amongst the Bells, they're in competition with each other. Although they're sisters and they're raised together, there's only one favorite from each generation, and their whole life mission, all they want is to be the favorite. So they are like competing against each other. So they're trying to do even more extravagant looks and all that. And as time goes on, they start to learn that what they thought their life was, and what they thought the purpose of picking the favorite was, and the purpose of all this is not real. Like, there's so much shady stuff going on, and they're starting to slowly uncover that even their magic isn't just for beauty. Like, they can do way more with that. So we're following the journey of Camille, the Belle that we know, and from her point of view, and getting basically inside of that world of exactly what price will people be willing to pay for beauty. This novel is so good because on one hand, the reason I loved it so much was the creativity. Like, my mind imagined all of these looks. I want to see it like painted out on film. I want a short series or mini series. If Netflix could adapt this, this would be perfect because I want this to continue and keep going on. Another aspect of this that when you're reading it, like, you're warped into the world, is you don't really know who to trust. I can't say too much without giving away a lot of the plot, but I will say that overall I gave this 4 stars. This is actually a series. So the second book, it already has a title. I believe it's Everlasting Rose, and it's coming out the beginning of next year. I can't wait. When I say I can't wait to read it, I can't wait to read it to see how everything plays out. The only thing that I didn't enjoy about this book was the romance part. Like, there's a love story in here, and it like literally made me so annoyed every time because it would take me out of the world, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't care about this boy. Can we figure out what's going on with the queen? What is happening? Like, that's how I would go. Oh yeah, and the author herself, just so you can get an idea of what inspired this, she says she was heavily influenced when she went to visit Versailles for the first time in France and seeing like all the over-the-top extravagance and all the money that was splurged on this. And, you know, she started to learn more about Marie Antoinette and trying to figure out all of the like inside behind the scenes stuff that would go on and how she would have to keep up her appearance and all these things. So literally the royal court heavily influenced her imagination when creating this. Additionally, New Orleans, antebellum, that time period influence, and you see that with all of the like a lot of the wording and stuff like that, like even a lot of the French words that they use, like, you know, for mother, and even bells, that means beauty, like beautiful. So yeah, like I thoroughly enjoyed it. I feel like if you like fantasy or if you have any interest in beauty, you will love this. The author also said that growing up, she would cut out magazine pictures and like of her favorite looks in all those teen magazines, like, and it started to get to the point where she would say, oh, I want this hair. Ooh, I would love this person's nose. Ooh, I would love this person's eyes. And she would do the clippings. And, you know, clearly that's not good, but that's literally what society kind of does. It makes you always want something else. And, you know, she took that to build this fantasy world, because literally these people are asking for these treatments, and they would go in saying that they want this button nose, this, that. They don't care how bad it hurts. Just do it. They don't care what it costs. They couldn't get it, wait to get in here. Oh, I shouldn't have that many treatments at once. I don't care. Give it to me because I have to be in this next week's scopes. Like, I have to basically, like, it's this never-ending cycle of wanting more and more of what's the new hot beauty look. Anyways, I guess that's my little spiel on that. Did you like my little beauty look? Would you have done colored eyelashes, or is that a little bit too much? Should I have gone for a puff up, a bell bun? I don't know. Anyways, love and light, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Love this color. So gorgeous. Dwayne, didn't you say this cover freaks you out though?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah, but I just loved it. And if you look at her Instagram, she has like so many different like looks the author does that were created in inspiration of this.